Good morning, guys. I decided to do a little ship with me video. I hope this is going to work out. I thought I would do some of these on occasion now that the garage is not so hot. My AC is running right next to you guys, so I apologize. This morning we have 5 orders to pack. One item. I did sell this large Hager vase, but the issue is when I started looking at the photos I had listed, it looked more like this color blue, like a really, really vibrant blue, and it's actually a dusky blue. So just to be on the safe side, because sometimes blue is really hard to photograph, and I didn't realize how different it looked, and this is a heavy item. I did message the buyer this morning with some additional garage photos in a different light to say, hey, it's not as vibrant blue, do you still want it? Let me know by tomorrow and I'll ship it. Now, if I have to cancel the order on eBay, that won't be great, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So this morning I printed my pack list from eBay. So you can go in and you can go to orders awaiting shipment, highlight them all, and go to, like, I think it's shipping profile or something, and then you can print. And so then I double check. We did have one mishap, and I did have one missing item this morning that it took me a few minutes to find. So we're gonna go ahead, and what I always do is I pick the hardest thing to ship first. So the hardest thing to ship this morning is going to be this set of amber pig glasses. Now I did pay $5 for these. They have sat for almost a year and a half, and they sold, my stores are 40% off. Now I won't have the details on all of these, but if you guys watch my upcoming Monday what sold video, which I think will be September 4th, and actually that might come out on the 5th because of the holiday. I might take that day to relax. You'll have all the solds for these. So I do have my bubble wrap off to the side on a roller here, and these are the first things we are going to get packed. So I'm just gonna make sure I roll these really good. I've got my tape dispenser right in front of me. Just gonna tape up the sides real quick. Now what I like to do when I have something stacked like this and I have dishes and stuff is I take some painter's tape, and I will actually hardcore, once I get a single layer of bubble wrap, I will painter's tape this so that there is no chance in shipment that these are going to jostle. And with using painter's tape, it doesn't like stick. It sticks, but it won't like hurt the item. So I do this for plates and stuff, and I will like go to town with the 3M tape just to kind of make sure nothing moves and that we are all set. And then I'll do another layer of bubble wrap. And this is easy enough for the customer to cut at the end. And now we had gone this way, we're going to go this way now. And I'm going to kind of double this up a little bit just to give it some extra protection. So yeah, my AC is reading that it's only 78 in the garage this morning, but my fan is on, so it's a little toasty. So we're going to try to move through this pretty quickly this morning. And guys, these are just how I've been packing. I've been reselling since 2019 now. This is just how I pack my stuff. It's just to give you ideas. There is no right and wrong. Wrong would be throwing these in a poly mailer and mailing them in a poly mailer with no protection. I can still feel the ends a little bit, so I just want to do one more little. There we go. Now I don't feel the ends so much, because I know when I pack this, the ends are going to be the most delicate part. And I tend to be an overpacker. I'll admit it, I'm an overpacker. But my stuff is there. It doesn't break. I ship fast. I get good reviews, so, okay. Now, 12 by 10. We're going to do 12 by 10 by 6. I just gotta find my 12 by 10 by 6. There they are. So if you're like, how did she do that? So this guy is right at 11. 12 inches gives me a ½ inch space on either side. This guy is right at 9. 10 gives me a ½ inch space on either side for padding. The 6 does make it a little deep, but I'm just going to put some extra bubble wrap on the bottom and then on the top. You'll see. So we're going to have loud noise for a minute while I set up my box. I'm just taping across the bottom. And I forgot that I needed more business cards. So some of these, and I do cross shape on the tape. There you guys go. So you can see what we're doing here. Now I take some of my, I think these are 3/4 inch bubbles. So I think my little bubble wrap is the 3/8 inch bubbles, and these are the 1 inch bubbles. So I'm going to take 3 sheets of this and just fold it into the bottom, because we do have all that extra space. And then I'm going to take some paper. I've been antique mall shopping, and they gave me all this paper, so I use that up first. We're going to throw some of that in. And then we're going to plop this on top. And I'm going to really jam the paper in to the corners and around the sides, because I want this thing in the center. I don't want it touching the sides at all, if I can help it. And then this way it doesn't move, it doesn't wiggle. Some people prefer packing peanuts. For this, I'm using paper. This will not move now. You guys can see that. I hope this is recording. Okay. I need a little bit more to kind of, because think about, if this drops on the sides, it's going to do this. And you don't want it to touch your item. You want that item protected. Okay, we're going to do a little thank you card, a little sticker, and like I said, I'm going to run out of these cards this morning. I meant to print more before I did the video. And then, just to keep it light, because the paper can be heavy, I'm going to grab some more of this 1 inch bubble wrap and just kind of really layer it in there so these guys don't move, and then we're going to tape it shut. And this is a 12 by 10 by 6. I buy all my boxes off of Uline, but I also do use my eBay coupon once a quarter to buy some like odd size boxes. And because this is so heavy, like I said, I'm an overpacker. I just want to make sure, because the problem is in Florida, I set my packages out for pickup and the humidity makes the tape raise. So I got to be real careful. So these were the pigs, and they were 3 pounds 4 ounces. So think about that. Those 2 trays are 3 pounds 4 ounces. Crazy. Okay, next up, this was a good sale. I paid $10 last year for this. It is a 10-piece nesting doll set. Sorry, making sure it's on right. I had it listed at $100. It sat for a year. I got an offer of $40. I took it. We're running with it. So what I like to do when I have an item that has delicate painting like this, and I don't know what climate it's going to necessarily, I'm always afraid to stick bubble wrap right to it. That's going to ruin the paint or pull up the paint. So we are going to cut this paper in half. Where did I put my scissors, guys? We're going to cut this paper in half, and we're going to wrap the doll with the paper. Just to kind of protect it from the elements. Not the elements, but you know. And then we're gonna bubble wrap it. I'm gonna do it. I always like to double mine over just because I feel like it saves a little time. And I'm just gonna do it this way first. And if I can, I do try to use the Scotch tape as much as I can, because I know it's hard for some people to get that heavy duty tape off. So for my under layers, I use the little tape. And then for my top layer, so they're not digging through like the heavy duty tape. And then, let's see what size. Now this one, it does rattle a little because of the dolls inside. So this one's gonna need, this one's right on the money. I actually am going to use an 11 by 8 by 6. I have 10 by 8 by 6 and 11 by 8 by 6. This measures 9.5 by 6 by 5. So that 11 just helps make sure the wood does not get cracked. And sadly, I have no clothes to pack this time. My clothes sales are a little slow this week, but I find like my clothes sales tend to pick up like Thursday through Sunday. So Tuesday nights, so I am filming this on Thursday morning before my day job. It's like 6:20 in the morning. We're in the garage. I do all my shipping before work. If I have a lot of orders come in, I get up at 5 and I'm in the garage by 5:30. Now this one, I will use packing peanuts just because I think that's going to be easier. So first let's get our paper. And we're going to kind of double over the paper. So it's folded in half so you get a little bit of edge padding. And then we're going to wedge our doll in. And as I'm wedging it in, I'm making sure I'm getting the paper so it will not move. So there you go, you see it's not moving. And then this one I am just going to dump packing peanuts because it is supposed to be a lighter weight item and we are out of cards. So, and I may have to open a new one. I buy my packing peanuts on eBay and then they leave me a review, I leave them a review. I know some people are anti-packing peanuts. Sometimes for me it's just a quick way to pack because this would take a lot of paper to fill it and I feel like the paper is going to make it a lot heavier than some packing peanuts, and they are all sticking to me. They're going to be all over me. Ah! Okay, close. All for me. Oh. I know I missed a few. I see that. There we go. Throw them in my basket. So those were our two like hardest items to pack this morning. So we are like going down the line of difficulty. So by the time I'm done, it's like, yes, that is so easy because I didn't save the hardest package to last. That's something I have learned. Pack the thing you're dreading the most first. This does sound a little wobbly, but it'll be okay. 1 pound, 12 ounce. And that's just the dolls inside of the doll. I probably could have tucked a little paper in the top as a note for next time if I have one of those, but then I'm always afraid it's going to pressure and splinter the wood. Okay, so next in line we have this bag that I have not been able to get rid of. So it is this little faux denim pink brand 90s style rose crossbody purse. I've had it for 2 years. Someone sent me an offer of $9. I was like, yes, please take it. It's about to be donated. So how my clothing and purses go that are not leather, is I just fold them up in some paper and I put them in a poly mailer. just like that. I just got some eBay poly mailers from their store, so that'll go in there. Normally I put a, I'll just put a thank you sticker because I don't have any of my cards. There we go. And I stick it in the envelope. But let me just make sure I measure first. So this is considered a 12.5 by 10, I think. So 10 by 12.5, right? Yeah. So when I put this into my pirate ship, it needs to say 12.5 by 10. It's not the size it is once I finish wrapping it. Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to be the original mailer size. So this is my first time using these bags. We will see how it goes. But I bought them just to use for eBay because I did not need any boxes. And I always am a little paranoid and put just a little extra. Just a little extra, because you see how now it's like a 10 by 10 by 10? Well, we don't want that. We want the accurate dimensions. So this is the purse, and it is 6 ounces. Okay, now we have, I sold this lot of sheet music. So someone bought, I got this in a giant lot, and it's 3 sets of Christmas sheet music. I bought these mailers special to protect it. So this will go in a hard envelope, which is perfect. So I just peel. When I sort my ephemera, I put them in the envelopes. They're going in ahead of time. I put an inventory number on them. I'm just going to tape this down so it's well protected. Put a thank you sticker. And then this is a hard mailer. I got them on Amazon. And it is, I think this is the 11 by 14. And you just plop them in there. It's rigid. It can go into a mailbox. And you are good to go. Now, because I store my shipping supplies in my garage, I do always put an extra piece of tape just in case the Florida heat has done anything to the glue. But I make sure I don't tape over where the person can pull it, because there's a pull tab. So I make sure, if you guys can see that, let me see if I can get you. I'm doing this backwards. I make sure I don't tape over the pull tab so they can still open it. So again, this is 13.5 by 11. So it's like 11 by 14. And it only weighs 11 ounces. And this is not going medium mail. They requested first class. And that's the sheet music. And last but not least, guys, we have one of my handmade quartz mala necklaces. So I handmade these. I used to make these all the time. This one's super easy. I have a little jewelry box. These are the 3x3s, I think. 3.5 by 3.5. So I place this in there, just like that. Now what I will do is I keep some small sheets of bubble wrap next to me, like this. I will cut out a little square and stick it on top, just so it doesn't move. And this person feels like they're groovy, so I'm going to give them some groovy stickers. And then we're going to seal this up with tape, just like that. And I'm going to grab a poly mailer. This is a padded poly mailer. I only use padded for jewelry. And it is, I think it's a 9 by 7. It's considered a 9 by 7. And so let me just real quick, because it's hard to write on it. 9 by 7 necklace. And we just plop that box right in there. And again, I will put a little extra tape because this one sometimes the glue from being in the garage, it gets super, super sticky. So just, you know, I want my stuff to arrive okay. And that was 3 ounces. And we are good to go. It is now 6:33 in the morning. I'm going to print all of my labels. get my coffee, and my day job starts at 7. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this little ship with me video. If you did, remember to give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button guys, and I'll be back with you all soon.